Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Cameron Jones. I'm with Techsoup Global, and thank you all for coming today. This is our first event that we've done together with Microsoft, kind of a deep dive into Office 365. The entire deck that you see today, you will receive. We will email it to you after either later today or tomorrow, so you'll have a copy of that, so you don't need to take pictures of the screen. And so we have with us today Jonas, sorry.
Pretty good.
Jonas?
Pretty good.
Or is that the German pronunciation?
Not German, that's a US pronunciation.
A US, sorry. Okay. From Microsoft here to talk a little bit about citizenship and the work, the really amazing work that Microsoft has done for the nonprofit sector.
Okay. So is it okay if I do this in Swedish?
Yes.
Okay. Då gör jag på svenska. My name is Jonas. It's really hard to pronounce, but we'll give it a shot. Så hej, Jonas Persson heter jag. Är vd på Microsoft i Sverige, och det är jätteroligt att ni är här hos oss. Och jag har fått förmånen att spendera en liten tid bara och hälsa er välkomna. Och sen kommer jag titta in här under dagen för att se hur det går. Just det här området är väldigt speciellt för mig vad det gäller Techsoup, och vi firar ju 5-årsjubileum för det svenska Techsoup idag, och Microsoft har ett 40-årsjubileum och Microsoft i Sverige ett 30-årsjubileum, så det är mycket att fira just nu, men Techsoup det är en viktig sak för oss, och det är en viktig sak för mig också. Jag växte upp, ni hör min dialekt, och jag är från Ludvika brukar jag säga, men jag är egentligen inte från Ludvika i Dalarna, utan jag har vuxit upp runt om i världen, speciellt Brasilien och Sao Paulo. På 80-talet, och precis när den här IT-boomen började lite grann med datorer och Apple-datorer, och jag bodde i områden där det var väldigt stor skillnad mellan de som hade teknik och de som inte hade teknik. Och jag följde med mina föräldrar runt om i världen och har sett väldigt bra saker och jag har sett väldigt tråkiga saker. Men en av de sakerna som jag har lärt mig väldigt mycket är att digitalisering är en fantastisk möjlighet. Det är någonting som kan hjälpa oss att adressera jämställdhet, jämlikhet, att få människor som kanske inte har så mycket också få chansen. Så att digitalisering är en viktig sak, och det fortsätter att spela en allt större roll. Och för oss då blir det en viktig sak, och för mig personligen, att se till att mjukvara och tjänster och IT, att det är någonting som vi kan förse så många människor som möjligt med. För just att alla ska ha tillgång till det här, det är en viktig sak. Och därför är just samarbetet, eller det som görs i Techsoup, extremt viktigt för oss. Och Microsoft i Sverige har donerat runt 300 miljoner svenska kronor vad det gäller mjukvara de senaste åren. Värdet på mjukvara till olika typer av organisationer. Så vi fortsätter att göra det. Det är superviktigt för oss att se till att alla har en chans att få möjlighet att utnyttja den här tekniken då. Och just konceptet digital hållbarhet är någonting som är extremt viktigt för oss också. Inte bara tekniska faktorer, utan också legala saker, saker som hanterar individers rättigheter, privacy som vi säger. Många saker runt digital hållbarhet som blir allt mer viktiga då när människor får tillgång till tjänster. Vi kommer att prata mycket om det här idag. Men igen, jag är jätteglad att ni har kunnat komma hit, och jag tror att vi har en gedigen agenda som täcker allt från moln till säkerhet till olika saker under dagen, så vi har mycket att prata om. Men stort och varmt välkommen till er, och sen så kommer jag lämna över till Jane. I think I said welcome up, it's you Jane, right, in Swedish. And I think I got the pronunciation right, okay. Jane, okay, right. So it's your turn now.
Thank you
Tack så
so
mycket,
much. Thank you, Jonas. Pleasure. Thank you for opening. I have no idea what he said. So I might repeat, I'm not sure. Let's see, I have a slide here. But welcome. I want to thank everyone for joining us. My name is Jane Messick. I'm a Global Director of Citizenship at Microsoft. I lead a number of global programs, including all of our Technology for Good work, which includes our donation programs, capacity building programs, and our humanitarian and disaster response programs. So very broad range of programs. I want to thank Techsoup Global and Social Forum for having us, the Techsoup Sweden partner. I'm sure, did Johan mention, you don't know, Johan mentioned the 5th year anniversary of Techsoup Sweden, so yay. I'm very happy to be here. The company's at 40 years, Techsoup Sweden's at 30 years, and no. Microsoft Sweden is 30 years. TechSoup Sweden, 5. Excellent. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We've, like Cameron mentioned, we've been doing these events around the world, and the idea is, while we make a lot of our donation programs very open, it's not so easy sometimes to adopt our technology. So we're trying to get out in the community, help build capacity. This slide here, that's Satya. He's spearheading the transition of Microsoft, and we're really becoming more about empowering people and communities. And so, from a citizenship perspective, that fits right in our wheelhouse, because it's, to us, it is about being a member of the community, supporting the nonprofit community, and supporting the people, which are the beneficiaries around the world. So, very happy to do this. We've been. Our citizenship team has actually been around for 30 years. We celebrated our 30th anniversary a couple years ago. So we've been actively engaged in the community, started out in the US, have been global in our giving since the early 2000s, and partnering with Techsoup for almost 25 years now, so maybe more, we're not sure. But it's been a great partnership. They've helped us scale in ways and helped partner with the nonprofit community, which we're very proud of. This past year, we reached all new heights, almost reached $1 billion in donations. Keeping our fingers crossed that we'll reach $1 billion this year. And of course, the big component of that is the growth of Office 365. Got numbers through April just last night, and we are now have 32,000 nonprofits that are on the program, and we're at about 2.5 million users globally, nonprofit users. So really happy that we've been able to donate and do this. But now the hard part is helping you all actually adopt it and use it and scale it within your organization, not just use email, but also use SharePoint and Skype for Business, and all the things that can help you be more productive to help you do more in your community. And that's what it's all about. I'm going to be here all day, so I'm looking forward to meeting you all. Let me know if you have any questions. Matthias, you're going to join us at noon and do a little talk. And I'm going to hand it over at this point. Cameron, you the MC?
Sure.
And best of luck following all the English.
All right, so TechSoup has been doing these events in partnership with another nonprofit organization in the United States called Tech Impact. And this is the agenda that you'll hear mostly from Linda and Sam from Tech Impact, who will be walking through quite a bit of the information today. But this is sort of the overall agenda. We're going to dive right in with an overview of the cloud and then a demo to give you a really good sense of what Office 365 looks like. You'll see it doesn't really look very different from what you're already using today. All right, so we'll start with, I'll introduce Goran from Techsoup Sweden, and he can talk a little bit about the Techsoup program. Techsoup Global, we're a large international organization. We work with local partners in countries all over the world. We're in about 58 countries today, and we'll be, oh, look, there we all are. And so we do donations. We manage donation programs for Microsoft, for Cisco, for Symantec, for SAP. And then we have lots of local donor programs as well, which Goran can talk about what's here in, oh, there we go. There's TechSoup. We also work with local capacity building organizations that do gatherings of nonprofits to help them understand about technology, how to use technology better. So that's sort of an overview of Techsoup on the global scale, and I'll let Goran talk a little bit about Techsoup Sweden.
So, thank you. I'm going to take this in Swedish if you don't mind. Hej, Göran Pettersson heter jag. Arbetar som generalsekreterare för en organisation som heter Forum, idéburna om organisationer med social inriktning. Och det är vi som är partner till Techsoup Global för att driva Techsoup Sweden, eller Techsoup Sverige, som ni alla är kopplade till. Jag har inte tänkt prata så mycket kring själva Techsoup-programmet, för det tror jag ni känner till rätt väl. Däremot har jag tänkt prata lite kring det svenska civilsamhället. För det svenska civilsamhället betyder otroligt mycket för det samhällsutvecklingen. Alla dessa föreningar, stiftelser, trossamfund är helt grundläggande för vårt samhälle. Och jag vet inte, för en vecka sedan ungefär så släpptes en studie av Ersta Sköndal högskola, en befolkningsstudie. De har haft det som regeringsuppdrag sedan början av 90-talet, att titta på hur engagerar sig svenska medborgare. Och det är en fantastisk, alltså de har visat sedan början av 90-talet så är det svenska ideella engagemanget ungefär varannan vuxen, 53% av alla mellan 16 och 84 år engagerar sig 15 timmar i månaden eller mer. Det är liksom enorma tal vi pratar om. Och det här har visat sig att det är konstant, oavsett om det är lågkonjunktur eller högkonjunktur. Det rör sig inte speciellt mycket. Och det här tycker jag är värt att uppmärksamma. För om man då tänker sig att man gör en litet räkneexempel och tar bort de som är för unga och de som är för gamla för att engagera sig, så är det ungefär 3,5 miljoner svenskar som varje dag, vecka, månad, året ut och åren engagerar sig. Och det blir, om man lägger ihop det, så blir det 52 miljoner timmar i månaden. Och på årsbasis är det 624 miljoner ideella arbetstimmar som görs varje år. Det är liksom fantastiska tal. Tänk så mycket tid som ni som föreningsmänniskor lägger på olika saker. Det kan vara att arrangera fotbollskupper, leda studiecirklar eller hjälpa missbrukare tillbaka till ett fullvärdigt liv. Ja, ni vet ju själva vad ni gör för något. Men om man då sen dyker lite vidare ner i den här statistiken, så upptäcker man att väldigt mycket tid ägnas åt styrelsearbete, administration, ledarskapsarbete. Och då, det är liksom i där kopplingen till Techsoup finns. Alltså att underlätta för alla dessa ideellt engagerade ledare, styrelseledamöter att göra sitt arbete bättre. Så att den tiden blir effektivare. Så man kan ägna mer tid åt, alla vi som är ideellt engagerade vet hur mycket vi lägger på ideell tid som ibland familjen borde ta istället. Men om att vi gör det här bättre och få att ha tillgång till moderna och de bästa mjukvarorna, programvarorna och datasystemen. Och det där Techsoup kopplar. Och det intressanta är med den donationsprogrammet som finns, så tar man ju bort prislappen ur ekvationen när man ska skaffa ett nytt IT-system. Det här seminariet idag om Office 365, det markerar ju att vi firar 5-årsjubileum i år. Och under de här 5 åren så har vi kunnat stödja 1069 ideella organisationer i Sverige med en programvara. Jag tror Jonas nämnde det till, han sa 300 ungefär. 321 miljoner svenska kronor är det har vi kunnat stödja med. Och vi är väldigt tacksamma, speciellt Microsoft men också andra samarbetspartner, hur ni har kunnat bidra till en bättre samhällsutveckling i Sverige. Avslutningsvis, även om jag är inte ansvarig i något led, men jag är inte verksamhetsledare för Techsoup, men jag skulle vilja önska Techsoup ett stort grattis på sin 5-årsdag i Sverige. Och sen tacka er och hoppas att ni får en väldigt lärorik och rolig dag. Så, tack.
Thank you. So, Pat, we're going to do a really quick overview of Tech Impact and the people you'll be hearing from today and their background around Office 365.
Yeah. Good morning. Good. So I'm going to do this in 2 languages. Okay? Yeah. First Swedish. Hej, good morgen. Techsoup, Microsoft. How's that? Those are the 5. Those are the 5 words I know so far in Swedish. And Kung, that's right, King. So, first of all, thank you, Microsoft, for hosting us, and for Jane for having us here, and for the Secretary General for having us here and being part of this in TechSoup. We're really excited to be here today, and you're going to hear from two of the best people that I get to work with, both Sam and Linda, who are just a wealth of knowledge in Office 365. It's just so, as a background, Tech Impact is a nonprofit organization in the United States, and primarily what we do is we help other nonprofits with their capacity, so building technical capacity within their organizations. So that's why we're here today, to help you know, the other organizations here in Sweden learn more about Office 365 and to adopt Office 365. The slide that Jane put up first, which was some quotes from the CEO, I thought were really, really powerful. When they talk about Microsoft being a cloud-first organization and being the platform, because that's how I view it as well, right? So everything we do is cloud-first. We believe in the cloud-first for nonprofits because nonprofits do such important work, you know, mostly helping other people, whether it's, you know, with food or housing or advocacy or what have you, and they're not really technology companies. So the best thing we can do is put them on really powerful technology platforms so that they can do what they do best, which is help other people, right? And that's what we believe in. And the other word that I really liked was platform, because I really see Office 365 as becoming that platform. And this is something that's been talked about for so many years in technology, period, about, you know, having a unified platform, and now I can really start to see it, right? So Office 365, yes, it's email, which is great, but now it's so much more. Now we can move our file systems there. We can start to automate business processes on there. We have Yammer, which really manages for us our whole internal communications strategy for a dispersed group. There's Skype for Business, which is, you know, helping us communicate across our organization. So really, really powerful stuff. And what you're going to see today is we can also build on top of those platforms. So new applications that help us do our work better with other nonprofits. So with that, I'm just going to turn it right back. Thank you very much. And here's Linda Widdop, who is the Director of Services for Tech Impact, and is going to walk us through this. Thank you.
Thank God. All right, we're done with the big wigs, so we can relax a little bit, okay? There's going to be no more managers talking, I promise. It's not going to be that kind of a day today. Sam and I are here to try to break down what is Office 365, how do you get it. Sam's going to do an in-depth demo of the product. We love to have an interactive session, so if you've got a question, feel free to, you know, shout it out. We're from Philadelphia, so we're used to people shouting at us. It's quite okay. So we're just going to go over real quick, what is the cloud? We have this kind of information in the program. I wish I didn't have to hold this. Can you hear me without it? Oh, we need it for the recording thing. Okay.
Do you want to put it on?
Huh?
Do you want to put it on?
All right. Well, we'll deal with it. Yeah, I won't do. Shove it down. He's telling me put it in my pants. It's a good idea. Because I'm going to be up here for a while. All right, how's that? At least I can just hold this, right? I'm good? Oh, I'm not putting it on my head, sir. I'm sorry. No. This does not look good in a hat. So a quick overview of the cloud. Everybody knows what the cloud is, right? Raise your hand if you don't know what the cloud is, right? Okay. So the cloud is a marketing term that was made up by technology people to sell you more things, right? Basically, it means anything that we can do on the internet, web services, that kind of a thing. We're all cloud consumers. We do cloud when we download music from the internet, when we surf, when we have our personal email accounts, et cetera, et cetera. I promise you it's not going to be this rudimentary. I just have to cover it. So how does cloud technology impact charities and NGOs? What do you call yourselves here? Nonprofits, NGOs, charities, social enterprises, NGOs? Okay, great. Why does cloud help NGOs? It's like Pat said. If we can take technology out of your office and make it somebody else's responsibility, then you can run your business, you can help people, you can do all of that good work that you do. Because you have nothing to own, you don't have to buy a server anymore, you don't have to worry about all that kind of infrastructure stuff that you have to purchase. You can do rapid deployment. I know that a lot of our customers in the United States have different funding streams. So they may get, the government might come to them and say, we need you to take over this other program or add a program, which means we have to have 10 more staff, 10 more caseworkers in the field. When we have a server in the closet, it's harder to get 10 more people or another office deployed. With cloud, it's much easier to do that. We just grab 10 more licenses from Microsoft or from whoever and send that out and let our workers get right on target there. The ability to use less powerful clients. Instead of having software that we had a heavy load on the workstation itself, and we had to buy workstations for thousands of kroners. How much is a basic workstation cost, you know, in kroners? 5,000 kroners? Yeah. So instead of having to buy a workstation for 5,000 plus kroners, we can find a workstation for our caseworkers or for our office workers that's less than that, because it doesn't have to be as powerful to load all the software locally. So it saves us a little bit more money, and we could put that into programs. Microsoft and other cloud providers do way better security than we ever could. We have servers that literally walk out the door. People just go in and take them and leave. We live in Philly. Did I tell you? Philadelphia, did I tell you that? So we have... they have better security. They've got guard dogs and all kinds of things. Don't you have guard dogs? Big fences, guard dogs, some sort of machine gun thing. Yeah, all of that. So we don't have that kind of problem with the Microsoft Cloud Data Center, which I'm going to show you a picture of in a minute. Backup and recovery, disaster planning. We don't have to worry about, did we back the server up last night? What happens if the server crashes? Can we recover? Microsoft's got all that covered in those data centers. They don't lose your data, right? Yeah, they don't lose your data because they've got redundant copies of your data in different data centers around the, around the EU. So you don't have to worry about that as well. So there are some reasons that the nonprofits or NGOs want to go to the cloud. I'm going to show you a quick picture here of something that shows what Pat was talking about earlier. Instead of worrying about, we used to spend 63% of our budgets on just maintaining this thing that was sitting in a closet somewhere. And now what we want to do is spend 63% of our budget on actually moving the program forward using IT. So this is all in a deck that the slide deck you're going to get. So I don't want to cover it too much right now because I want to get into the Office 365 and the cloud platform stuff. So this is the Microsoft Cloud. I thought, and I know it's an old one, but it's the one that is easiest for me to point out. If anybody wanted to know what the cloud looked like, this is it. So it's not glamorous by any means. So there's these big warehouses that they have. The best one, if you want to look it up, Microsoft will show you the one that's located in Dublin, which is the one that you use, is the closest one for here. You can go online and do a lot of research about it, and they have different pictures. But basically, it's a warehouse full of container trucks. And inside of each container truck are rows and rows of servers. So this is the inside of one of those trucks. And what they do is they build these out, and they've got all of the server stuff loaded on there. They've got redundant disks and all that stuff that IT people used to have to worry about, including me. They've got it there. So each one of these little things might have your mailbox or your Office 365 files or your Microsoft Dynamics CRM data in here. And the way that it works is that, and the reason that the cloud has become available to nonprofits and to consumers in general at a low cost is because Microsoft has invested quazillions of dollars. Is that a word in Swedish? Quazillions? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, the cajillions of dollars into multiple data warehouses like this. And what they do is they just let those servers run. They put your stuff on there. They move it around. There's about 10 copies of your stuff on 10 different servers in 10 different containers or in 10 different data warehouses around the EU. So that if anything goes wrong with this server or that hard drive or that container truck or this data center, you're still operational. And that's the whole point here. They've made that investment and they're at a volume now where the price is good for us. Any questions about that? You can have that slide. This next slide, people from Microsoft gave me, and there's like a whole bunch of animation and stuff, like, oh, look, there's your data, woohoo, right? So showing you the multiple data centers and the nodes that are closest to you. When you provision, we're not going to show you the United States, who cares? So we'll talk about two things with the Microsoft Cloud. One of them is the Azure stack. So one of the things that Microsoft has is this stack of services that they've built on what they call an Azure platform. And that Azure platform allows us to build out things like servers if we want to provision an Active Directory server, but let Microsoft host that for us. Or if we need a SQL server and let Microsoft host that for us. We can go ahead and do that with Microsoft Azure. It's a platform that IT professionals can get in there and do server type stuff with, programming and that kind of stuff. Today we're going to be talking about this one. This is Microsoft's online services. This is the Microsoft engineers already did all that GUI stuff in the back, and we can play with the user-facing stuff. So email, file sharing, those kind of things that our users take advantage of on a daily basis. We're mainly going to be working with today Microsoft Office 365. We're also going to talk about Skype and Yammer, which are part of the Office 365 suite. But there's other ones too. There's Microsoft Dynamics CRM online. Has anybody heard of that one? I have a slide about it. Good. Power BI, anybody? Business Intelligence? Okay, good. Microsoft Project management software, okay. And Visio. Visio is a diagramming software. So all of these are available on the Microsoft Online services now, which is terrific because this is the point, again, that Pat was trying to make. The Microsoft Cloud continues to add products and services so that we're using not just email, not just file sharing, but now we can do other things online as well, like CRM, data management, right? Contact management, that kind of thing. Do collaboration with Yammer and Skype for Business, all that kind of stuff. So I'll show it to you in a minute. Can we just pretend that that's my name? So with the Microsoft Office 365, there's basically these four components to Microsoft Office 365. You get a license, and that license allows you to do these things. Each one of your users gets a license, and each one of your users gets a 50 gigabyte Exchange-based email box that you can use Outlook web app, or a mobile device to connect to your email. How many use Exchange now? Exchange server now, okay? So just for that reason alone, you can get rid of your Exchange server and move to Office 365. All of your users will have the same functionality. They'll have a 50 gigabyte mailbox. Of those who raised their hand about Exchange, how many of you give your users a 50 gigabyte mailbox, right? Nobody's raising their hand. Let it be known, videotape guy, nobody raised their hands on that one, okay? So nobody raises their hands. Microsoft's going to give you a 50 gigabyte mailbox, okay, for that. All the same functionality. It's actually a better server. So their servers right now are on Exchange 2013. Every time there's an update, they just make the update. You don't have to reinstall software and do all that kind of stuff. File storage and collaboration. We're using 2 server functionalities, not technically speaking. One of them is SharePoint Online. So SharePoint Online will allow you to store your files online, collaborate with other people, do all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. Use Office web apps to make that connection. And then personal cloud storage using OneDrive for Business. I didn't write for business because it's too long. OneDrive for Business is the name of it, okay? OneDrive for Business allows each one of your licensed users to store up to 1 terabyte of data online and sync that to a local folder on their local workstation. Now, the caveat is you have to have 1 terabyte of space on your local workstation to actually do the syncing, but, right? And you may read that unlimited, okay? It'll be unlimited. If it's not already unlimited, it will be unlimited. Right now, it's 1 gigabyte. So we can look at that later. So that's 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte of online storage per licensed user. 50 gigabyte mailbox, right? So you're starting to see why they need container trucks, right? The other thing that it comes with is communication tools. So the communication tools, Link, has anyone used Link, Microsoft Link? Okay, has it changed suddenly on you and now it's called Skype for Business, right? Mine did, which is good, right? So Link or Skype for Business allows your users to communicate with each other via instant messaging so they can chat each other. They do presence online, so if they have something on their Outlook calendar and you open up Link, it'll tell you that they're unavailable for a phone call or a video chat. You can do video chats with Link. You can do instant messaging with Link. You can also host web meetings with Link. So if you wanted to present to a team, like we're doing now, like you didn't have to come here. We could have just done this through Link. And you could have all stayed home in your pajamas, but you wouldn't have gotten the lunch. So because of the lunch, we're not using the Link. You can also do group conversations with Yammer. Has anyone tried Yammer yet? Right? I thought Yammer was the dumbest thing on earth until we started using it, and now we're like all in love with it. We're in love with it. Yammer is like an internal private social network for your employees. So things that you might want volunteers to post. How many use volunteers to go do things for your organization, right? So you've got a volunteer that's out in the field. Maybe he or she are registering people for the race or the 5K walk or something like that. You want that volunteer to be engaged with your organization. You want them to be taking pictures of the runners and the racers, but you don't want that volunteer necessarily posting those photos to the world on the Instagram or the Facebook. You want them to post it to Yammer so that somebody within your organization can then repurpose that and maybe make the message go out in a better way or a repurposed way. Great use of Yammer right there. A lot of our clients are using that exact same thing. So all their volunteers are yammering the great work that they do, and then that's being repurposed out. So those things are all included with your Office 365 licensing. And then there's this, the Office 2013 apps, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Publisher, OneNote, et cetera, that come as an addition to this. This is what Microsoft promotes, and this is why I get phone calls all day. I want to upgrade my Word. Can I get Office 365? Well, yes, you can, but that's not the purpose. Okay? So these things think of as back office suite. This thing think of as an addition to. So upgrading Word, Excel, PowerPoint. We're moving from we buy the software and install it locally, so we get volume licensing. Who doesn't use Techsoup yet to get their donation? All right. Oh, 2. Okay, there's 2. You got them?
Don't use Techsoup or...
No. Have a choice. So we can either purchase get a donation through Techsoup and pay the admin fee, load it locally, or we can go this route, and this is a subscription service to the same products. Okay, and I'll talk about that later in the licensing section. Okay? So that's all that comes with Office 365. In about 3 minutes, Sam's going to demo all this. Okay. Just checking. One of the newer products that Microsoft has made available to nonprofits and NGOs at discounted pricing structure is Microsoft Dynamics CRM. CRM stands for Constituent Relationship Management, or Customer Relationship Management, or Client Relation, put whatever C you want to put in there. Relationship Management, right? So this tool could take place of a donor management system, or a contact management system, or a volunteer management system, or anybody that you want to keep in touch with and track your contact with, can be done in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. Microsoft Dynamics CRM, if you get that in your, if you provision those licenses out within Office 365, your users get to open up Outlook and have a little thing there that says Dynamics CRM. So anytime they want to type a message or, send an email out to somebody that's in their contact list, that'll be tracked in Dynamics CRM. So it integrates with Outlook, Office 365, and Power BI. So it's a nice tool to keep. And again, one of the benefits here is that all of the data within that database is stored on the Microsoft servers and accessible and available anywhere in the world. As long as you have an internet connection, you can get to your stuff. You don't have to take notes at the event and then run back into the office and retype them all to keep track of who showed up at your event, because you have to go back to the server and type it all in. You can just do that right at the event if you've got wireless. So anyway, that's Dynamics CRM. This is Power BI. Power BI is business intelligence. It allows you to take data and make visualization with the data. So imagine you've got data that comes in about homeless in Sweden, and you want to say, where can we send our volunteers or our caseworkers that they're going to make the most good? If you pull that data into Power BI, you can visualize that on a map or a graph and show where we need the most services. Okay, so it's a pretty cool tool. Again, available as a license within the Office 365 console now. Same thing with Microsoft Project. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but Microsoft Project is available right within your Office 365 window, and so is Microsoft Visio. So you can do Visio online now and make your, these are obviously, anything that you see here is US dollars, because I can't do the kroner conversion. I think I've been ripped off for the last 2 days. So it was like, that'll be 45,000 kroner. I'm like, okay, here you go. I'll take that Diet Coke,